It's Friday.
Day.
It's actually Friday.
It's Friday, man.
You thought the day would not come?
It is here.
It's Friday. Friday.
Yeah. Friday the 24th
24th of April.
24th of April.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you this morning?
Mungu anasaidia.
Sindio? Wacha tuseme tu.
Mungu anasaidia.
Ni hivyo. Yeah. Good to see you.
But I'm alive. Everybody I know is okay. Nashukuru.
That's a good place to start. Mungu anasaidia.
I love your pants.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Asandi.
I love your pants.
Like alphabet.
Zinakafiri.
Sandi sana.
Unajua the people hapa wanasema tunataka amoni. Allah.
You're all kinds of silly.
Can I get sky?
I think
Pay me.
Pay Aseto if you want to see the pants that he's talking about.
And you can see him. Clearly we're Nigeria.
This Evelyn. You know Evelyn is very naughty.
What's she saying?
She said that they're on air. She has done something.
Evelyn. Oh, fala.
Evelyn, first of all, I still don't understand. When did you start wearing glasses? Okay, I know we had a conversation about this a couple of days ago, but was I in the twilight zone? Had I not had my coffee? You're wearing glasses.
Yeah.
That's why you can't. Huh? You can't see your. Okay, anyway. Yeah, one would imagine. Okay, things are just passing me.
Yeah.
You're seeing the bright future.
Syllabus in very fast.
Very fast, I'm telling you. Speaking of which, acha pia leo tutaongea.
Kapsa?
Yes, this is the situation room. It's Kenya's biggest conversation. We're talking breath lengthwise. And it's interesting because you know what? A conversation was spurred off of what we had in the room yesterday, talking about just what care is needed for men and boys.
True.
I don't think we realize the extent to which we need to make sure that in society, we take a deliberate, active role in ensuring that our boys and men are okay.
Yep.
We don't. And there's a huge indictment on us. We don't. And we ought to. There's this assumption that, there's a man, he's the provider, he's the strong, he's the whatever. We need to stop it.
You know, one thing, I was just thinking about it yesterday, and one thing that has continued to be passed down the generation since time immemorial is who a man should be.
Yes.
Inafaa ukauke. Kaki mwanaume, you know? So you find there are men today who are thinking like their great-grandparents. Because that's how they've been socialized. Think they are.
I think there are very many elements of socialization that must be deconstructed. Very many of them. But this one, for whereby units of society are being broken down because of certain assumptions, I think we've done ourselves a huge injustice and a huge disservice when it comes to then we don't have functioning individuals, which are the basic units of society. It's that serious. And I know that I may be simplifying it in what I'm saying, but we actually have a responsibility to ensure that every other unit of society is actually okay. We do. Our first responsibility is to each other. True. I don't care about your politics. I don't care about your first is to each other.
I agree.
My life is in danger. This is not me who is saying this. Former Cabinet Secretary Raphael Tuju has said this on certain occasions. He's even talked about what you should do in the event that I pass away.
Yeah.
And so this is serious stuff. I mean, we know that there have been the wrangles around his dairy property and all of this and going to court and the loan from the ADB and all of this. So what exactly is going on? And people say, well, why do you pay so much attention to it? Well, because it could be you tomorrow. And there's so many things that have taken up public attention around this case. So let's get the details of why his life is in danger. Who then might be the perpetrator of this danger? What exactly is going on? Raphael Tuju joins us at 7 o'clock this morning, and we'll talk with him to find out exactly what is going on there. The weekend review with Youth Insights is what we'll do then at 8 o'clock. From the youth perspective, what has this week looked like, and what is it likely to be in the next 2 days with the planned meetings. Of course, we did see the IG of police, Douglas Kanja, and the DCI, Mohammed Amin, saying, you know what, we've received the notice for these two rallies that will take place in Vihiga and Kisumu consecutively. But all that we're asking is that members of the public who would otherwise try to disrupt things and conduct themselves in a manner less than accepted, then we're going to deal with that. We saw that was allowed. So there are many things that are cooking. Jerry Kahiga is a national youth leader. She's going to be joined by Odanga Pesa, who is the SG of the Agano Party. So they'll join us for the weekend review and just from a thought point, what's going on here. Finally, am I not? Yes, here we go. Finally, at 9:00, our Healthy Friday conversation is another one of those things that you don't want to talk about. But you know what? It's affecting many men.
Yes.
Day by day. Yesterday we talked Justice Thursday. Today we talk Healthy Friday around issues of erectile dysfunction, performance pressure, the hidden crisis facing young men, and that we know that performance pressure is a big deal, but it's affecting much younger men, and the question is why and how you deal with it. Far be it from us to not talk about the stuff that's uncomfortable. You don't want to talk about it, but it's affecting a lot of people. And this is the reason that we see for a lot of breakdowns of relationships. And what's the word I'm looking for? I'll find it at some point. But hey, a big issue. We're going to talk about it. And I can see you smiling sheepishly, Mr. Seto.
Yeah, because I remember we once had that conversation and most urologists call themselves plumbers. So
right. Something with the plumbing not right. Or is it all in your head?
In your head, yeah.
Literally. Okay, so those are the conversations that we'll be having today. And we'll get into them. Well done, EVE, producer extraordinaire. Sawa. So we'll talk with you guys about that today. Let's get into it. Karibu sana, everybody who joins us this morning. Was it drizzling? It was this morning. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'm alive. So as we get into it today, Karibu Sana, our live streams are up, YouTube, Facebook, X. This is the Situation Room. Dennis Tolaseto, do a call with you today, getting into it. Our audience on KTN, we see that you've joined us. Keep clicking into the room this morning. We'll say hello to you in just a bit after Mr. Seto takes us to Egypt.
Yes, we're finishing up from the home of Musa. Musa.
Oh, Musa. Okay.
Yes. From the home of Musa and the burning bush. Yes. But the proverb that we get today from Egypt says, "The beautiful is beautiful even after rising from sleep." The beautiful is beautiful even after rising from sleep.
Yeah. If it's there, it's there. I guess. That you imagine that when you get up from sleep that you're all tousled and you look a mess and that you have eye bags and whatever, but the beauty that's there, it's there. You can see it. The beauty in a thing, whether not used or not approached, does not mean that the beauty doesn't last. There's some things that will last regardless. I guess as we go on, we'll find the deeper meaning.
If you have a beautiful heart, if you are a kind person, you don't need to remind anyone that you are.
Yeah.
It will always be seen. It will reverberate wherever it is you are. You know? So calls on us in terms of how we live with people. You know, are you wearing a facade? Are you your true self?
Yeah.
Yep. If you're also just an idiot, you're an idiot.
Oh, here we go. That guy wasn't too far. Never far away. Dennis.
Hata upake rangi aje, or you drape it up in flowers, man. The idiots will always show up.
Sawa, tumesikia. Tumesikia basi. All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us every morning as you do. Let's say a quick hello to you as you're getting into the room today. Lovely to have you here. Robert Tobogo is tuning from Mombasa today and says a very good morning, tuning from Mombasa. Peter Kiaria says good morning from Mombasa. If you feel like you're losing everything, remember that trees lose their leaves every year. Every year. And they still stand tall and wait for brighter days to come.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you never see a tree. Actually, wait a minute. There's a region in the world where you have weeping trees, but that's a totally different story. But the trees know that they have to go through this process of losing their leaves so that they can get bigger, brighter ones, or that in this season whereby they have to dig deep into their roots where you're not getting fruit or leaves.
And every season is just a marvel, man.
I mean,
I love it.
It comes through without it just is going to happen.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting one, and thank you for doing that every morning with us, Kiari. Makano Oliver says, good morning, Spice family. I'm happy for the teachers. They won big. I hope the same will go to all civil servants being affected. Yes, so the good thing here is that our children will go to school next week, Monday, Tuesday, and the teachers will be there.
Yes.
To assist with the process of learning. Desmond Oti says, good morning to the person reading this message and to the one listening to it. Most of these politicians were once goons. So, kumaliza genetical goonism in politics isn't an easy task. Ooh, genetic goonism.
Genetic goonism.
Wow.
In politics. Oh.
Okay.
Once a goon, always a goon, eh?
Once beautiful, always beautiful. I guess it could go the other way, isn't
Exactly.
it? Peter says, Gaucho alisema apewe pancreatic juice akunywe. Haki, you guys. The memes that were coming out of that meeting.
It was beautiful.
Yesterday.
And you remember the thing I was telling you guys here about panga? Kenyans are talking about it. Which is a good thing. Kama scalpel hawezi fanya tunaweza tumia panga.
Toa yote kabisa. Well, Leo says, good morning, Princess Nduana Seto. We should consider disbanding the budget-making process. If all politicians say is to support the president to get development to your area, don't support him, you won't get development. Yeah, well, it's true. Then what's the process? What's the budget-making process for? I mean, yeah, it sounds like it could be a simplistic argument, but truth. Why go through an entire process to budget for something when somebody can actually just come and say, oh, you know what?
Yeah.
We have 80 billion shillings. We're going to put it in Nairobi. We're going to put money in housing here because, what's the point?
What's the point, yeah?
We have to ask. It's okay. Laban Motaroki, says, good morning, happy people. It's actually the last Friday of April. Yes, It is. Margaret Wajo is tuning this morning. Everybody in Spice FM and the Situation Room tuning from Houston, Texas. I'm excited to be here. Let's continue the great conversations. Kabisa. Rahim Tula Omar, where have you been? Good morning. Back in Kenya. Came 2 weeks ago. Missed Kenya and I missed you guys. Well, we missed you too. What does that mean? You're back in the UK now or are you in Kenya? Do tell. Karibu Sana. Kimiak says, good morning, Team Spice. Thanking God for rains in Soy, Kakamega County. Ijuma Karim. Leo says M7 said he has banned unprocessed minerals and he's doing electric vehicles. What can Kenya say it's doing to add value and tap emerging technologies? Okay.
Importing.
Tibbs Muke says, good morning. Tuned in Spice team. Nduana Seto, we need a conversation on the Dangote refinery and his speech yesterday. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It would be nice to have the man himself to come and tell us a couple of things.
Yeah, I hear he's going to try help Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania set up a refinery in Tanzania. So let's see how that goes. Yeah, Kenya is also trying to tap into oil that is getting from Uganda.
Yeah.
So Kenya wants to be part of the process. So let's see. At least conversations are happening. To what extent they will be had is the question.
It's the first block, off the thing. I think it's great.
It's great.
Thank you so much, Rahim Tula. Mashara and Jeru says, good morning, Team Spice. Ndwana Seto, wishing you people a good Friday. Thank you so much. Julius Opanyi, it's Friday, my place to be every day for a daily dose. Check finally came through for the people who want power. Sindo?
Yeah.
Karanja says, good morning. Do I love your pants too? Thank you so much. You guys, your consistency on the show. I do not know what the show will be without you. Dennis, you're a great man. Great man.
Asante sana.
Big up. Erica War, thank you so much, Karanja. Erica War says, good morning, guys. Asante sana. Wanda says, good morning. Nduana Seto from Toronto. Ndo the pants. And I said with the sweater. This has been a very tiring week. My sister, we're going to be honest. If we're going to be honest, you're right. It has. Yeah. It's taken its toll. I hope you're both going to relax this weekend. That is the prayer, my sister. Mukoya says, good morning. Lengampelelezi. The Situation Room, Ijuma Mubarak, to you too. David Mangera, good morning, Princess Ndu and Dennis Strong, Kabisa. Mokoya said, on performance pressure, young men normalize doing exercises like running, jogging, and gymnastics. Yeah, I think the problem is that the gymnastics are not happening. But anyway, Daniel Churu says, good morning to my favorite morning crew. Good morning to you. Today, I don't have much to say, but please request that you tell the music section to play more soul, funk, disco, dance genres we love so much and try limit the hip hop. Brother, you're speaking my language. We'll definitely send that message out there. In fact, I've taken a screenshot of what you've said and we'll send it to the relevant people. That proverb goes to Nduoko. Which one?
Kama ni mrembo. I just said it in
Swahili.
Kama ni mrembo hata uamke asubuhi. Ada. Slaps different.
Jermaine. Thank you so much, Desmond. Jennifer Itenyi says, good morning, Ndus, Aseto, Spice Tech, and Spice Family. Good morning to everybody. Gen Z, Walishiwa Power. This is Mkoya. What does that mean? Walishiwa, as in power has left them. Oh, okay. Let them normalize. Okay, sorry. Let them normalize doing exercise to keep the body active. Oh, that's what you mean in relation to our Healthy Friday conversation. All right. Okay, get it. Collins Juma says, good morning. ODM Linda Tumbo, Jana walikuwa wameenda peacekeeping stato. These people have finished the party. Oburu anataka kuanza kula pesa ya retirement lini. Mzee analekezwa kama mtoto. Pita hapa. Wewe, pita hapa. Oh. Yeah. Punctuation would be nice. Hey, okay. You two inspire me to be a journalist and have my own media. Really? Stay blessed, dear Ndu Anaseto. Love you too, man. You. Sir Kanute, good morning, Ndu Anaseto. Keep up to Evelyn. I appreciate how she keeps attention to detail. Kabisa, this one is a Kabisa. We are kept in line, I won't lie. Richard Odera says, good morning, tuned in from Mikindani in Mombasa. David Mangera says, 90 billion shillings within 4 years. Nimbaya mzee. Abado. Just now, 90.
Remember 2025, 2026, we've just asked for supplementary budget, right?
Yes.
In State House. So expect that number to hit Kedo 120, 130.
Yes.
Yeah.
Expect it to.
We must ship these people. We must ferry them and we must feed them.
You guys, I don't think you understand it, but a lot more money. This year, into 2027, the amount of money that you're going to see as in pushed in.
Finally, we'll see circulation of money into the economy.
It's coming. Money is into the economy. It's coming. Good morning, my people. Princess Lindu Dennis, EVE. Looks like our MPs don't understand their roles in Parliament. It reminds me of 1982 and one-party system watching from Miami in Florida. Bienvenido a Miami. Anthony Musei says, good morning, Ndu Anaseto. Victory Nyamoki is tuned in and says, Kenya needs Christ more than other countries. Victor Ombuye says, good morning, Kenyans. And Thomas Osoro is saying, good morning, Spice team. Good to see you again. ODM is letting us down. Hey. Okay. Agutu Okembo says, good morning, the duo. Good morning to you. Ben Masha says, good morning, listening from Hindi Lamu. As usual, stay blessed, you all. Thank you so much. Our Ramtula says he's back to Kenya, and Christina is here this morning. Good morning, Kilamtu. Karibuni sana.
Ramtula, let's do biryani outside Jamia.
Some mnajuana hivo?
Let's do biryani outside Jamia.
Look for Dennis.
Yes.
I said biryani outside Jamia.
Yes.
Okay. So I've just noticed how I was not invited. It's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
I'll cook for you your biryani.
We've agreed that's going to happen. Yeah. If please, can you put that on the record? Record that biryani is being cooked.
It's being cooked for you.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Sasa, wacha tuangalie headline. How do you say headlines in Kiswahili?
Tuangalie tu gazeti. Tuangalie gazeti.
Gazette. All right. 8 billion shillings. Dirty fuel bill. That's what's on the front page of the Standard. Okay, what am I talking about? When MT Paloma checked in Mombasa, that's a ship, okay? It delivered more than fuel. It exposed a brazen scheme that left motorists exposed to inflated cost and questionable quality. Even after Energy CS Opio Wandayi ordered the consignment withdrawn, the fuel was not removed from the system. One Petroleum has since issued invoices worth billions of shillings to oil marketers for the same cargo. the same one where they said, no, vacate this oil, we cannot use it. No. Others are being asked to pay for the same thing. It now raises a hard question at the heart of the affair. Was Wandayi managing public outrage with an order he knew could not be enforced? Or were the forces behind the deal too powerful to be stopped? My head is already pinning me.
You know, there's so many layers into this story. Because it got to the country, it was flagged down, they were asked to remove it. Then you hear it was blended with something else and released into the market, and whatever was supposed to leave. There is information coming from all quarters, but none seems to be the truth.
Boss, yo petroli.
Iko kwa magari zenu.
Boss, thank you.
Yeah.
Hii story yote, I can never, this word recalling, nada.
Let me tell you, the best time for that cabinet secretary, Mr. Expert CS or PO Wandayi, was supposed to act is when that ship had not docked at the port of Mombasa. Because once that ship has docked, what happens immediately? They start offloading.
Please, beba wengine fala. See. 11.8 billion shillings is the total value of the fuel shipment at the center of the dispute, now under investigation over pricing, timing, and market irregularities. Bora imefi? Who are you going to send it back to?
Yeah.
I beg,
why do you think these guys are issuing invoices to companies to be paid? It's because they sold the product.
It's just interesting to me that you think you can keep telling Kenyans certain things and that they are not awake to the realities. You imagine that Kenyans are not awake to the realities. They are. They are. So, that's just on page 1. We can debate that in just a little bit, rather interrogate that story in just a little bit. But there's something else. On page 2, schools hit by fresh funding gap ahead of second term reopening. It's almost as though in the first term, schools knew that this was going to happen in the second term.
Yeah.
Remember that first term was paid in advance and it reached the schools before they opened. The schools have raised the school fees. I am talking as somebody who also received an invoice for double the amount of money that we normally pay in term 2.
Term 2, yeah.
Double. I didn't say increment. I said double. As in 100% increase of the term 2 fees is what we are going to pay. And I'm saying this so that it will not be said that I'm telling you what I am doing and what we have been given. It's almost as though they knew that there will be this number 1 funding gap and that there will be a delay in capitation in the second term. So who bears the brunt of this delay?
Parent.
Excuse me, CS Ogamba, when you people do this, excuse me, CS Mbadi, when you do this, we have to suffer it. We are suffering it. When you decide that the money that you are going to put to a fundamental process of education for the country's children, that you're not sending it anymore, or that you're reducing the amount, or that you're going to send it late, the people who are already having a hard time surviving are the ones who bear the brunt of this responsibility. Not only is it criminal, it's not fair. I'm just telling you what's going on here. Second term reopening, 3.2 million shillings. 3.2 million is the number of learners in secondary schools. Each student will receive about 16,845 shillings annually, well below the required 22,244. Treasury estimates indicate that 78.5 billion is needed to fully fund secondary education annually, leaving a deficit of 26.61 billion shillings.
So deficit of what?
26.6.
Yet we have some 90 billion for just ferrying people around.
Yeah. And you
get why we get angry, because you look at that 90 billion shillings that you're spending to ferry people and feed people, and you see no return on investment, yet you can divert that money to go into education of the children of this country, and you can say we have return on investment because these children, upon their graduation, they would come and serve the nation. Let me tell you, there is something that what Kioni usually says. Hii nchi ndio utakuja kupata tu penye kuna watu wenye ni wazimu. People don't sit down to think on what is important.
See, Now fuel flagged for rejection beat the system and enter the pipeline. So they said they were going to reject it. Let me tell you, that's what you're driving around with. That's what's in the public system. That they used the fuel. So the chagrin and the Shangri-La that was happening, where they said, no, it can't send it back to where?
Where?
It is in your cars. You've bought it. You have bought it.
You ordered it.
Let's just
We
be
delivered.
honest. Come on. Okay, fine. If you say that it should be stopped, where is did it leave the ship?
Yeah.
Did it enter into Kenya, the Kenya pipeline? It probably
Was
did.
it offloaded?
Or if we're saying that it wasn't offloaded, then it should still be sitting in a ship somewhere, or that ship should have been rerouted back to where it came from. That didn't happen. So now here, because second, just like you said, Aseto, very clear what you said. Somebody's invoicing somebody. Can I invoice air? Okay, people have done it, but in this case,
yes,
you're not invoicing for air. Oil marketers are being asked to pay a certain amount of money. What does that tell you? The fuel was offloaded. It's in your vehicles.
Let's just look at some of the invoice. I see there's an invoice here worth around 735 million shillings. There's an invoice worth 607 million. There is 618 million. Oi. Those are not just some digits on a calculator. Those are on invoices that companies have been asked to pay. The best time for that fuel to be routed back was when it had not docked at the port of Mombasa.
Thank you.
Then you'd be sure that product did not enter the Republic of
Let's
Kenya.
even say that you were not able, because there are tests that go on where there's a landed product.
Yeah.
So let's say that it is at that point that you tested this thing. Why did you even start having a conversation about can we release it or put it in the pipeline? See, some things you guys just don't behave as still Kenyans are stupid.
You see,
it's not
even
fair.
that thing, because it started from the very first thing that thing flouted the G2G arrangement. Just using that line, that thing should not be in this country.
Now that we even know that the G2G was not G2G, it was G to me.
G to me.
So first of all, let's just remove that thing. The IMF, meanwhile, is demanding Ruto's action on graft audit before talks on delayed loans.
Good. Not just graft and hidden debt like pending bills. Lipa watu pesa zao. Mchezo bana.
Okay, good luck IMF. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That might take a while, but if you're waiting for it, you're going to be waiting for a hot minute.
I think this is the point where we get to tell the government.
Should we tell them?
Pesa ya IMF mtapata, mjipange. Muone venye mtapata hiyo pesa. Lakini msituongeze taxes.
Tafadhalini.
Mmeshatufinya mmetumaliza.
Hakuna imeisha.
Mafuta pia inatuua left right center. So
don't come to us, we don't have.
Actually, we could tighten our belts.
The belt imeisha.
2 billion shillings to State House. The remaining 88 billion shillings would be rerouted to other things. Just saying. Tukaze mikanda kila mtu. I would actually give State House, that belt of endless holes. That is what we need for State House.
Like, you see, there's nothing to add anymore. Imeisha. Proposal to give students IDs faces hurdles? Really? Okay.
Really?
A bill calling for the issuance of national identity cards to secondary school students has run into headwinds. The Law Society of Kenya and the Immigration Service yesterday arguing that the proposal presented data privacy concerns and could lead to the disruption of the school calendar. Yeah, because somebody has to go and get biometrics done. Just hold on. They're still minors. They can wait until 18, if you ask me. Ruto remains cagey on zoning as anxiety grows amongst ODM leaders. They've decided that two governors of Embu and Homa Bay are going to be the ones that are going to lead these talks. They've decided that they're going to keep talking. Okay, just keep talking over there, no problem. In the opinion pages of the Standard today, Dr. Ahmed Ogutu has written about the shark cover, the sickness that's weakening the health system. Interesting there. Some of the stories that we're looking into the Standard today. Get yourself a copy of the Standard e-paper and find out what's going on there. Sawa?
Yes. So, Daily Nation. The lake, mountain, big reset for 2027. So, unease is the subhead, and the fierce rivalry between Mount Kenya and Nyanza, which have been in opposing political camps in the last 6 of the 7 presidential elections since the reintroduction of multi-party politics in 1992, has influenced Kenya's politics, with the exception of the 2002 vote when the two regions united behind the opposition candidate to end KANU's 4-decade rule. Each bloc has backed its own in other polls, but following recent events, including Raila Odinga's death, the blocs are at crossroads ahead of 2027. Okay. So is it a regional issue or is it a leadership deficit?
Yeah. Good question.
Is it really? Is it really? So Sha owes struggling county hospitals. Guess how much?
Oh, God.
8 billion. So we have 8 billion shillings that Sha owes county hospitals, and we have another 8 billion shillings that is worth of fuel. We're just playing in billions, eh?
Boy.
Hey. Now, tree planting world record, Kenyan awaits final decision. So, a day after launching his ambitious bid, Kenyan environmentalist Hilary Kiplagat Kibiwot has smashed the world record for the most trees planted in 24 hours, marking a major milestone in climate action and conservation. Guess what? I think this individual has done a lot more than what we keep on being told.
Yeah.
So now another question for him would be ensuring that, I think for me, the world record would be him ensuring that all these trees get to grow. There's a difference within planting and growing.
I'm curious as to how he planted those trees in 24 hours. Of course, he had help.
Yeah.
Did they have the holes dug before
prior.
that, and then they just were inserting and covering?
Yeah.
I'm just interested to know how that happened.
I mean, I don't know if also Guinness looks at the quality of work done.
Yeah, such things intrigue me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we go to page 2. So we have Kakai Kilonzo, who's the Benga legend who refuses to fade away. So Kakai Kilonzo refuses to die as his music continues to speak. His melodies remain timeless, and he gave voice to people whose stories still matter. On page 3 as well, Kenyan ex-soldier goes missing after joining Russia war. So we still have that problem.
Yeah.
I remember our Prime Cabinet Secretary said that everybody who was in that war would be repatriated because he actually flew to Russia, right?
Yeah.
To Moscow. Yeah.
Yeah, well.
What's the report, sir? What's the report?
Kindiki also said that he was going to, when he was the CS Interior, he also said that he was going to sleep in the North Rift until the issue of this rustling disappeared.
Did he?
See, he would have still been sleeping there if it was the case.
Please go back, sleep there. So police probe lawyer's death after assault. Our colleague was assaulted and killed under unclear circumstances. This incident demands urgent and decisive action. That is according to LSK President Charles Kanjama. Lawyer Tom Owuya Imbukwa died after an assault at his residence in Harambee Sacco Estate, Donholm, Nairobi, in an incident that has raised concerns over the safety of legal practitioners. So lawyers are up in arms asking for security to be looked into. And page 4 is that story on Mount Kenya and the Lake region leaders at loggerheads again as we approach 2027. And how parties have turned aspirants into cash cows. Say that again. How parties have turned aspirants into cash cows. Parties are now charging aspirants registration fees, terming it a show of commitment. You want to come to my party? You ascribe to my agenda? Please pay me so that I can admit you.
Where did these people get this money from? Like you go say, hey, Dennis, lend me $1 billion shillings. Or what? How does it happen? Where is the money coming from?
I don't know. So what are we talking about? So 92 is the number of political parties fully registered according to the Registrar of Political Parties, and 31.8 million is the amount in Kenya shillings that President William Ruto's UDA party collected from aspirants for a meeting at State House in February. Come to State House, pay, I get 31.8 million shillings.
My God.
Lakini tuko na shida. And on page 10, the public hospitals in intensive care as shared debt surpasses 8 billion Kenya shillings. And the person there is Cabinet Secretary Eden Duale. 22 is the date in April that Health CS Eden Duale appeared before senators. And we're talking about 30.05 million shillings. The Kenyans who had registered with Social Health Authority by April, according to Health Cabinet Secretary Duale. So, 30.5 million is the number of Kenyans who are registered under SHA.
So registered but not necessarily paying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I reckon if 30 million people registered, that's quite impressive actually. If 30 million people are registered and paying, then you have quite a chunk of change that you can do something with. But I guess the challenge here is that they're not.
Yo, the debt here is crazy.
Why?
So 201 million shillings is what is owed to Kwale County. 5.7 billion shillings is what the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops says is owed. 482.6 million shillings, the amount owed to Nakuru devolved government, and 619 million shillings is the amount to be paid to Edu Afia, subject to availability of funds.
So they're going to revive Edu Afia?
I think this is when Edu Afia was there.
They still owe them
the
money.
money that is owed to them.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. The Star. Ruto stalls ODM UDA fallout and picks Wanga Mbaride to lead the talks. Okay, so these two ladies are going to handle it and say, okay, what was wrong? Was there a problem? Let's sort it out. Okay. He's still very unclear about the zoning issue, which is what brought about this knicker in a twist situation in the first place, because the UDA Secretary General Hassan Omar said, zoning kaput, not going to happen. Simbarati, deputy party leader of ODM, says, this zoning story tutakufukuza. So this meeting yesterday that was held at State House, interestingly enough, was to take care of those particular issues. Did it? I guess time will tell.
Man, if all these people would just stay in Parliament and legislate, do the jobs that they're supposed to do, Kenya would be much better. Zoning, let everybody come and vote. Let
if
Kenyans
you want
decide.
to run, you run.
You run.
It's some of the tenets of democracy.
Anyway.
Audit exposes 20 plus parastatals in financial mess and surviving on loans. Where? Singapore. Kiamaiko, the abattoir, butcheries all over the place, goes digital. How tech is reshaping Kenya's meat industry. That should be fun. And speaking of meat, Kenyans put on 11 kg after moving to the US. Research indicates that, go to the US and I don't know what happens, but I guess you're
Come on,
eating
sir,
different.
can you give me American pie? Yeah, that's what happens.
Yes, that's what it looks like. Parastatals are not in good stead, according to this story in the Star. Xenophobia slams rushed closure of Kim as court halts the shutdown. Yeah, because that's a bit of a messy situation. 100,000 students who are in limbo from the last 7 years, and then those 10,000 who are currently in class who have I mean, come on, they've paid fees. Others are working after the certification that they got from Kim. You can't just shut it down like that.
A question is, the people who slept on the jobs, what happens to them?
Yeah.
We will go to Kim's and say the mistake that Kim did, but there's an individual who's in charge of that docket, TVET, right? And where were they when all these things were happening? Because we're talking about over 100,000 students who are now exposed because someone slept on the job. Because
what's the issue what's the bone of contention here? Is that they wanted Kim to be part of the centralized system for testing and all of this. But then I have to ask the question, over the last 7 years, when these exams were happening and they were not using the centralized system, where were you?
Where were you?
Why couldn't you say, well, you're not even accepting this first batch of examees, but you allowed it to go on year after year after year? And then now you want to come and tell us because people are having a tiff of whatever, that actually, you know what? No, I'm sorry. You don't just solve things like that.
No, you don't.
Because they did the first one, you kept quiet. They did the second one, you kept quiet. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
7.
Then now suddenly you're coming to tell us that they were not in the centralized system.
And
Where were
who
you?
gives them licenses to operate? The very same government. So, I mean, we just gotta call a spade a spade.
No, we can't behave like
Wandayi
this.
slept on the job.
Yeah, we
Please
can't.
leave office.
No, we
Someone in
can't.
TVET,
Yeah.
Education Cabinet Secretary, slept on the job. Please leave office. It's that simple. Is she at home?
Yeah, we can't deal with things like this anymore. I mean, and you want to progress to where? To where? Muranga traders are now hoping for a new market because Ruto is coming to pitch tent in Muranga. So let me tell you something, Maina.
Tell me.
You might be promised a new market. Whether you will get it or not is a totally different story. But you can imagine that's what they're waiting for, to be told that Soko tutajenga.
For the people of Murang'a as well, I think having a new market is a good thing, but please let's remember that's a devolved function. We could be walking to the governor's office and have a discussion with him that we need a market here, and because it's your function, let's discuss on how that's going to build.
Yeah. So in the last few minutes, of course, let's look at some news out of Kenya. And of course, you all saw the videos of, I'm assuming that a lot of people saw videos of what's happening in South Africa.
Yeah.
So in a public hospital, of course, the gentleman and his battalion of people come out and say, if you're not South African, please leave. This place, we're only treating South Africans. A gentleman, a Ghanaian, was, pulled over on the side of the road and said, this certification that you have, if you did not bribe somebody to give it to you, how do you have it?
How do you have it?
Why are you here? You should be in your country. The woman told him, she said, you should actually be going to fight for a better Ghana. You shouldn't be here in South Africa. I think that the backlog of apartheid trauma in South Africa is still so potent, it has not been dealt with.
True.
And this, what we are seeing now, is the resultant effect of not dealing with that trauma. So they're pushing people out of the country. They are even going as far as saying that healthcare, the guy was even mocking some Zimbabweans there and saying, run the way you would run over the border towards Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trauma from apartheid that is undealt with in South Africa. You can call it what you want to call it. It has not been dealt with. There's still a lot that needs to be taken care of. The xenophobia that happens in South Africa is not a 2026 issue.
True.
It has been there for years. They've pushed out the Zimbabweans, they've pushed out the Botswanans,
burnt people on the streets.
Burnt people in the streets. They've hit out at the Ghanaians, the Nigerians, the Cameroonians. They've hit out at the Kenyans, Ugandans, and Rwandese who are in South Africa. It stinks of unhandled trauma. There's a lot more that needs to be done. Nobody is saying that you should allow anybody to go and live in South Africa and operate and take your jobs. What we are saying is that you have to also deal with the problem. And I know that these things reach the desk of Cyril Ramaphosa.
They do.
And they've reached the desk of the previous presidents, from Thabo Mbeki to Nelson Mandela to everybody else who was in that position. It's a major issue and it doesn't look good. And people are saying, what? South Africa atuendi tena.
And even when dealing with apartheid and fighting for independence at the time, it is other African nations who pushed that agenda.
Yes.
So as we speak today, many say those who are kicking other Africans outside South Africa do not know what other nations, the role they played to end apartheid.
It's not a good situation. Must be dealt with. Good morning.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.